One of the problems I'm having with the Citrix XenDesktop 5.5 or the Citrix Zen Center here is whenever I go to create a virtual machine and assign it as a dedicated machine to a user, it does not seem to want to connect. Again, in my previous video you noticed that I was trying to use the master image as an existing machine and assign it a user with administrative rights. However, this was working last night. It was a hit and miss. 2 or 3 times I was able to connect to the dedicated machine, and a couple times I wasn't able to. So what I'm going to do is show what I'm doing again and show what it does when I do try to connect to a dedicated machine that I signed as user. So let's go ahead and create our desktop or our desktop catalog. I'm going to create dedicated and select the master image. Again, this is the same master image I was using to do the random pooled virtual machines, which work perfectly fine every time I connect. Those are still working whenever I do that. So we'll create 3 desktops here, and we'll put it under the computer directory and give it a name, or naming scheme I should say. And we don't need to leave a description. And we'll call the catalog dedicated. And this part right here usually takes about 5 to 10 minutes, depending on how big the virtual disk is, how much speed in or RAM and processing speed you gave the server, the desktop server, or the XenDesktop studio that is residing on the server itself. But again, what we're trying to do is basically assign dedicated machines to a user, a specific user or users, and be able to connect to it through the web portal. However, like I said, it hasn't been working at all today, the 4 times I've tried it, and I've done it the same way every time. Don't know what could be the problem, don't know what's happening. It just sits there and spins. I know it usually takes a few minutes for it to boot up. I waited 5 to 10 minutes before and still wasn't working. So basically I'm just trying to find some answers to why this is not working. Again, it's the same master image that I used to deploy random pooled or static machines to users, and you're able to connect perfectly fine every time. Now I'm trying to do dedicated or existing, which I think I did do some reading on the existing. The master image does have some type of registry key in it, or sequence that it knows that it is the master, and you can assign the existing machine to a user. What I wanted to do was log into it through my thin client. That way the thin client and the virtual machine are syncing together, be able to pick up the drivers automatically, pick up the drives and so forth, so it knows the thin client, it's familiar with the thin client. That way I can deploy it over the rest of the machines without using the RDP or the console, because it's frustrating and slow and laggy whenever you're trying to make a master image for 45 to 100 users for a site, and it's just taking forever to do so. That's why I wanted to log in on the thin client and use that existing image and assign it to a person, and then create a snapshot or deploy that. So we'll skip ahead here now that it's completed, and we'll create an assignment. And it sees the 3 machines that we created, and we're going to add all 3. And then we'll just add 1 user just to test out for right now. Delegation, and we'll display name my desktop. And we'll just name the desktop group dedicated. And we see that the 3 machines have been added, and they are not assigned to any users yet, and everything looks good. And the 3 virtual machines have been created. So let's go ahead and log in. I'm using the web portal for testing purposes. And it just sits there and spins. As it's being assigned to VRD-002, you can see that it turned yellow, now it's green. And like I said, the last night when this was happening, it took about 5 minutes or so for it to connect, 5 minutes or less. And then when I tried logging in again, it was much faster, it came up instantly. And VRD-001 just came on. I don't know why, because it was already assigned to VRD-002. So there's something going on with the connection and trying to find the machine that it should be connecting to, it seems like. And it's still sitting there spinning. As you can see in the consoles here, that the machine is starting up. It's still starting Windows here, so we'll give it a couple more minutes. Still trying to connect. And you can see now that it's been assigned. One has been assigned, a user, and there's 2 available. I'm still trying to connect. Usually the screen will turn blue where it says my desktop, and then you know it's ready, but the machine is ready. And it's been about 4 minutes, 5 minutes or so. And I am doing the dedicated. Pooled does work, again, like I said. Existing also doesn't work, and I don't use physical or stream quite yet, since I'm still testing the dedicated and existing and pooled. So we'll try logging out and signing back in here and see if that works. Again, it's still spinning. I don't think it should take that long for it to connect. Like I said, it was working a couple times last night, and now it's just not. So if you guys have any ideas, suggestions, or comments, or things I should look at, go ahead and post in the Citrix forum here, or below in the YouTube comments section, or you can message me. That would be great. Thank you very much.